Welcome to my home lab. In this new video, we want to create a free domain with duck DNS, secure it with Let's Encrypt with Nginx Proxy Manager. In one of the previous videos, we created a Docker container with Nginx webserver with a custom text. You see here, my home lab. But we have to put the IP address. I want here a domain name, and it's not secured. I want the connection to be secured. Therefore, we use duck DNS to put a DNS name in place of the IP address. You see here we can log in with different possibilities. I use Google. Click on it and log in. As you can see, we are logged in with the email address. Please complete the reCAPTCHA. Click on it and we are in. You see here we have the email address. It's free. We have a token. Gonna see that later on in the video, and it's created today. Gonna zoom in a little bit and create a domain name. I do test for my home and add. As you can see, we have the IP address and the domain is created. The IP address here is my public IP address, but I want here a custom local IP address, the IP address from the Fedora server from previous videos. So we delete it. And put here the local IP address from the Fedora server, 192.168.126, and update IP. You see it here. The IP address for test from my home lab.duckdns.org is 192.168.126. Now we are back to our Nginx web server. You see my home lab, IP address. Now we can use test for my home lab.duckdns.org. Click on it. Et voila, we have the web server with a domain name, but not yet secured. That's the next phase. The next step we're going to do is to create an Nginx Proxy Manager. And in a later step, we also create a Let's Encrypt SSL certificate that is accepted by all the browsers. Now we can create our Nginx Proxy Manager Docker container. See here the website, click on Setup, and you have a Docker Compose YAML example. Image, restart, the ports, but as you can see, we need to port 80. Therefore, we will need to remove the Nginx web server. We have also port 43 and port 81 for the admin. For some cases, we can also use port 21 for FTP. If you want to change the database, if you want to change IP version 6 and the volumes. data, and let's encrypt. See here, we can also use database. Here, MariaDB, Postgres, also for Raspberry Pi, and example. For now, we use the simple setup with SQLite. Therefore, we need to go to our terminal to log in to our Fedora server. Now we can open the terminal and do SSH, username, the IP address. But now we can use our domain name. For my app dot duckdns.org. Because it's the first time we do that, we need to confirm. So we do yes. We need the password for the server. And we are in. You can do ls, and as you can see from previous videos, we have glances, Nginx HTML, the web server I showed you before. We have also container agent, registry, SAB, NZBD, and Yacht. All Docker containers from previous videos. Now we can view our running containers. Docker PS, all containers, enter, and we see here all the containers on the system. One important is Nginx. You see container ID, image, Nginx, because Nginx is running on port 80, and Nginx Proxy Manager also needs to run on port 80. Therefore, we need to remove the Nginx container. First, we need to stop it. Here we have the command docker stop and container ID. You see here, this one. And the container is stopped. Next command is to remove the container. Et voilà. If we do now a docker ps, you see Nginx is no more in the list. Now we do ls again, and we want to create a directory for Proxy Manager, Nginx Proxy Manager. So we do mk here, Nginx, Proxy Manager. Do ls, and we see we have our directory. Now we go inside the directory, Proxy Manager, do ls, and we see the directory is empty. The first thing we need to do here is to create our Docker Compose file. So we do nano Docker Compose .yaml. We have an empty file. Now I'm going to copy the code and paste it in. You see services, app. You want to change that to Nginx Proxy Manager. Proxy. the image, latest, container name, restart unless stopped. You see here the ports. Therefore, you have to remove Nginx, the web server, because also here we use port 80. We use 80, 443, and 81 for the admin. The networks, you see, we use a network. This one here, bridge, and the volumes. Need to remove that here. Sorry. Okay, voilà. File is ready. Now we can go to exit and save it. Yes. Now we do Docker compose. We don't do detach because we want to see the logs. Enter. First, the image is downloaded. It can take a moment. And voila. Nginx Proxy Manager is running. Now we can go to our browser, and if we do now this one, you see it here, Nginx Proxy Manager is running. We go to port 81 and we need to log in. I'm going to show you how to log in and how to change a new account with password. Now we look how to log in on a new install. You see here, default administrator user is admin example.com and change me. So copy the email address and change me. Sign in and we are in. Now we need to create a new account. So we use email address and a password. First password is me. The new password is a new one. Confirm the password and save it. And see, we have a new user administrator. We go to the dashboard. We have no host, no direction host, no streams, and no errors. Now, the next thing we need to do is to create an SSL certificate. Nginx Proxy Manager will manage that for us. So we create a new SSL certificate, we click on it, and you have a name. The first domain name is test4myhomelab.duckdns.org. Click on it. The second is with a wildcard. So all the certificates will be used for all domain names from test4myhomelab.duckdns.org. The normal and all the wildcards. You see here the email address is already inside, we use DNS challenge. We select the DNS provider. Of course, in our case, it's DNS. And we need the token. We go back to the website start from the video and copy the token. As I told you before, after I finished this video, everything is removed. The token, the domain name, and the account. So you need to create your own. You go back and copy, paste the token here. Here, and paste it. The last thing we need to do is to agree to Let's Encrypt terms, and we can save it. That can take some minutes, so we wait. It's also possible we have an error, but I'll show you how to fix that. Have to wait a little bit. Sometimes it can take 2-3 minutes to see what happened. You see, we have an error. We go down and do propagation seconds. You can do here 30 or 60. I do 120. But it's up to you to test it. Save again and wait again to finish the Let's Encrypt certificate. Sometimes you need to test it 2-3 times. It depends. And voila, the certificate is okay. The wildcard and the normal. You see, it's Let's Encrypt DNS, and it's valid for 3 months. For now, it's inactive, but we're going to use it in a minute. Now we can go to hosts, proxy hosts, and create our first host. We can create our first host. Add proxy host. The domain names. Portainer. I'm going to start with Portainer. Dot. The domain name. Test for Honda. Dot DNS. .org. Here, click on it. And Portainer test for my home lab doc.duckdns.org. Because Portainer is also already running on an insecure HTTPS, the IP address 192.168.126. So the IP address from the server where the Docker is running, port 9443. You can choose this one here. For now, we can leave that out. SSL. Here we use our created SSL certificate for test from my home lab and for the wildcard. We force SSL and do HTTP to support. Save it. And voila, domain is created. Now we can click on it and we open our container with the domain name and secure. In and the password. We log in and voila, we are logged in with domain name, a local domain name and a secure connection. In the next video, we're going to continue with this domain and secure our Docker registry. So this was it for this new video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up, and see you later. Thank you very much.